hope this video will help you find your purpose. It's not going to be wishy-washy. It's probably going to have a few home truths in it. But if you take it on board and you do it, I believe you'll find your purpose. You see, purpose comes from what you do. You can't actually think about what your purpose is going to be, or you can't plan your way into your purpose. I mean, you can come up with ideas and you can think, well, I want to be a design engineer when I get older. And then you get into it and you think, God, this is boring. And it's just not what you thought it was going to be. So it's like if our purpose comes from what we do, if we don't do the right things, then we may never find our purpose. But there are some simple rules you can follow to help you get there. So, the first point to consider is you are passionate about your purpose. So if you spend all your time doing stuff that you're not passionate about, then you're probably unlikely gonna find out what you want to do in life and what your passion is and what your purpose is. And I completely understand why we can spend a lot of our time not doing things that we really enjoy and not doing the stuff that we feel passionate about. And that's because we've got to work and we need money. And so we spend a lot of our time doing that. But there was an entrepreneur called Tony Gaskins, and he said that if you don't build your dream, someone's going to hire you to build theirs. And so if you really don't want that, if you really don't want to spend the rest of your life doing something you just not interested in, then you need to find a way out of this. And that's why we need to find a way for you to find your passion and for you to find a real purpose in what you do. And so if you are working and you're having to support yourself and you're having to support maybe a family or something like this, the best way to do that is to start off with a side hustle. Yeah, and maybe try a few different side hustles where you try a few things and see what works and whatever. And the idea is to try and turn your side hustle into your full-time job. Yeah, and it's been so effective. So many people have used this to get into what they want to get into. And so if you've been wondering about how do I get into that next step, side hustle is definitely the way to go pretty much most of the time for most people. The second point to consider is you need to trust in chance, not your thoughts. Now this one sounds a little bit weird, but what I mean by this is you don't know what your purpose is. It's not in here. So stop thinking about it, right? Your purpose is out there and you're going to have to find it. It's a little bit like being in a relationship or wanting to get into a relationship, so I say, that it's about chance. You know, the person you meet is about chance. And if you keep putting yourself into opportunities where it could happen, then eventually something's going to happen. So, you know, people make excuses about, you know, why they're not going to do it. And realistically, you've got to believe it's worth fighting for. Otherwise, you're going to get to the end of your life and you're going to think, why did I spend my entire life doing something that I didn't really want to do? And the number one excuse is that you've got children. You've got a family. I had to do what was best for them. And well, yeah, you do, but you got to understand that children, particularly when they grow up to be adults themselves, don't tend to do what we told them to do. They tend to do what their parents did. Did you know that children that come from parents that smoke are twice as likely to smoke when they get older, even if their parents consistently told them not to smoke? You see, do you want your children to give up on their dreams when they get older and they have children? And if the answer's no, then you've got to make it work. You've got to put yourself into situations where you're doing things that you're interested in, you're doing things that you enjoy. You know, about joining clubs, it's about going to meetups, it's about getting involved. And don't go thinking, oh, what could lead from this and what am I going to get out from this? Just go. Just go. Because I guarantee you, opportunities will come up that you would never have even thought of. And a final piece of advice. You don't find your purpose by seeing it. Once again, you find your purpose by what you do. And it's going to be something that you're interested in. And even though you might be interested in lots of different things, it's going to be that one thing that you find yourself doing for a while and you're completely passionate about it. It makes you feel alive, and you realize at that point that you've found your purpose and it's something you've been doing for a while. Good luck.